gonna be a
Oh,
good
we're
topic.
not?
Okay, what is this topic? Animal rights.
Animals need rights because they matter a lot, and we know they do. And like some people argue that the consumption of meat kind of makes animals very like they're tortured a lot, right? I think that's something we all can agree on.
Yeah.
In a way,
you
like
see the chickens, you know, like those chicken trucks. Have you ever seen those chickens?
yeah, those are pretty horrifying.
That's creative. Like people say that creates a balance in nature. Like when we, it's good for the food chain. Do you believe that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, before like humans became like farmed animals and like purposefully like kept them, the food chain was fine before that. So I don't think it has that much impact on the food chain.
In fact, when we talk about animal rights, we can't ignore the circus who use animals for, for
That's
showing
true.
something. It's a real torture for them.
Or like
it's
zoos.
a real torture. Zoos. Exactly.
All those like
Zoos?
there are zoos that like where animals who are like injured, they get to be there instead of like being in the wild and dying.
Those are more like aren't those more like animal like health centers, not like
Even zoos do that though, from what I've heard.
I think zoos can either be like helping the animal by giving them shelter, but if you release them into the wild again, like a lot of people say that if you take an animal into a zoo but then release them into the wild, they won't have the wild instinct.
Yeah, that does happen.
They'll just die. What is this?
Homework.
A homework.
Homework.
I think we all should just come to the conclusion that homework is unnecessary. And I don't know. I've always had a feeling that if I was ever in a position of power, I would say that
there shouldn't be any kind of homework.
yeah, like it makes no sense. You go to school, you study for 6 hours, then you go home, you study again. Like it almost becomes like the mindset is even what time is supposed to be recreational.
But don't you think it's a kind of self-study?
Well, I think just keep kids at school and that should be the study, right? I think the school environment should be such where there is partial self-studying. Like you shouldn't have to go to school, come back home, where like there's almost no control and you don't know what you're doing to some extent. And then because there are some kids that end up spending hours and hours on homework and then they're unable to like actually have a healthy life.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time like they just give you homework to like spend your time kind of, but like otherwise you could
just because their parents are complaining that my kid is not getting any kind of homework. That's also a thing. Parents complain that you are not giving children homework. So I mean, what kind of school is this?
Dogs? Is that it?
It says dogs versus cats.
So animal rights and
Cats
dogs.
versus dogs.
Cats versus dogs.
Cats.
Oh, dogs.
Cats.
Dog.
Oh, I'm so neutral.
Cats. No! We need you to decide.
No. Cats, you have to earn their love, okay? Dogs, they'll just automatically be nice to almost anyone. Most dogs.
That's
Right?
generalization.
But
That's a
cats-
fallacy.
Cats, like, you have to build a trust relationship with them. Like, at first they'll be like, don't touch me. But then, like, as they get to know you, they start to love you so much.
But like, doesn't make any sense that you feed the cat
But
every day. And
dogs
it's,
are most honest.
yeah.
Faithful.
Oh,
Faithful
yeah.
would be the right.
Yeah,
right
faithful.
word. Yeah.
If someone was robbing you, would your cat protect you? Actually, your cat wouldn't, but maybe another cat might. I don't know.
I mean, cats don't have the power to protect. That is true. Dogs are, like, more powerful. Like, cats are just...
Dogs can save your house from robbery.
I'm gonna tell your dog what you just said.
Cats are just... Their personalities are just so much more interesting than a dog's personality. You know? Like, they have so much
That's
different,
true.
like, facets of their personality and different moods. So it's like, they're a lot more entertaining than dogs to watch, in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Is there more?
Assisted suicide.
Ooh, wait.
Assisted suicide.
What does it mean by suicide?
Assisted suicide, I think that is like
Euthanasia?
It's like euthanasia, but
Okay.
you like do it to yourself. Like euthanasia, the doctor like gives you some pill or some like no, the doctor like injects you with something. But I think
Yeah.
assisted suicide, like you take it yourself, like a pill or something.
Well, again, I guess then I would say it's horrible in my opinion. But then, like, if you compare it to euthanasia, I guess it's more freedom of speech, in a way.
Yeah. Are you free to take your life?
Yeah, that's the
Are you free enough to
Yeah.
take your life?
I mean, the thing is, like, people don't think that suicide is okay, do they? Do they think? Like, normally if someone...
I mean, there is
like,
also, and there is always an external pressure. If we see behind a suicide, there's always an external pressure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that would be then talking about, like, is there, like, a difference between euthanasia and, like, suicide, or, like, assisted suicide and suicide? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
This would be, I guess it would be where suicide is, like, someone else did something to you, and that's why you killed yourself?
I mean, it can be, like, if you're feeling depressed, and that doesn't necessarily have to connect to someone doing something bad to you, although it usually does, I would say. But...
I guess in a way that, like,
Yeah.
as a society, if we hate suicide, maybe we should also, I guess, I mean, that's something I think that's, at least in the media, it's agreed upon, where suicide's not looked at as a good thing.
Yeah.
I guess in that way, assisted suicide and euthanasia wouldn't be either.